awful today. This is a video brought to you by Ants Hood, and today I'm doing a bit of a live show. Nothing overly interesting or spectacular to talk about today. I'm just generally going to chat rubbish, and I need to sort out this camera angle. There we go. This camera is terrible today. I don't know what's up with it. Who knows? But yeah, so I've got nothing particularly to say today. So if you want to leave a comment, if you want to ask me any questions, you're more than welcome to. Like I said, I've got nothing major to do, but what I do need to do is clean up some of my ants. So I am more than happy to talk rubbish. While first, yes you are. Hey, happy. No, yeah, more of me, I'm afraid. Oh no, somebody else has jumped on the hood. Hashtag hood get stung. Now I have been stung today because I did attempt. I need to. Jesus, camera. Hey Pav. I need to start again. I need to clean out my Solenopsis today because they're quite dirty. But I put a rat in there, a baby rat or a fluffy, I think they call it. And now they've gone absolutely crazy in that outworld, and I can't touch it. And because I've got water and some jelly tubs in the other outworld, I can't go near that one to clean it out either. So I did think, well, I need to clean it out. It's quite messy. And no one should get in the hood, get stung movement, to be honest. But like I was saying, I did try and clean them out earlier, and it was just fruitless because all of the little bits of cockroach that they've got in there that I need to take out, I forgot my train of thought. I just put them on the top, and just hundreds of them went everywhere, and I'm still finding them on my desktop, where occasionally where they got out, ran down the side, because the only way I can clean them really, because they're so, well, the nature of Solenopsis, they're just so much all over the debris and stuff like that. I can't really just pick out the rubbish and leave it to the side. And AKB, and because they're so small and so voracious, you could just say, they just sprawl out everywhere. So because I use the top of my outboard to try and push them back in, they just get everywhere. So that's why I've got a couple of them running around my desk still. Not now, because when I see them, I get the old cotton wool Q-tip, if you're American, to clean them up with. But like I said, it's been an absolute nightmare. If you want, because my room's a mess today, I have still not tied up properly. Eating a curry. I had Domino's pizza today, to be honest, but if we swip it round, yoink. Let me take the charger out. This is them at the moment, and if you notice here, all this splat is where I was trying to reapply the barrier, and I was flicking off the little applicator, and I just ended up flicking up all over the wall. Hey, thanks, Happy. Cheers for that, mate. And I was flicking it all over the wall, so now I've got it all over the wall, but I've got no way to clean it. But get this, I applied the barrier yesterday, and they've already got past it, because since I put that rat there, they have just been climbing up the walls, falling down and testing the barrier. So now, I need to reapply that barrier. But yeah, so I tried to clean it up earlier today, and that would be a classic example of what they're like. There's a bit of debris there, and they're just all over it. So when you pick one up, you just get a load of ants with it as well. And they just, like I said, I stick them on the top, because that enables me to then use the cotton wool bud to push them back in and stuff like that. But unfortunately, they get down the sides and they get all over the table. But what I did notice when I came back from, hey ants on the rock, what I did notice when I came back from my week away from conference of work and then AntCon, is if we move the light over, look at that pile of dead. Believe it or not, I did actually clean this up a little while ago, and already it's built up quite high. Now I have noticed a drop in numbers, but it's nothing that I'm overly concerned about, to be honest, because if just look how much they are, they're absolutely huge still, so I'm not massively concerned. Hey Junior, I'm not actually massively concerned at the moment. And if we look at the nests, you will see, you will see a drop in numbers, but we'll get that out of the way. Have you stuck any colonies to a nest I gave you? Yes, I've still got my Campanotes in it. Nicobrensis, yeah, Ramblings. As you can see there, that's still quite busy, but here is where it's slightly less busy. So I think this is where you can start seeing that the numbers have dropped a little bit. I say a little bit. I mean, it's not a dramatic drop, but yeah, there is still. Hey, Ants and Pets. Well, I can't even see what I'm doing. There we go. and there's still quite in there as well. So there is a drop in number when it comes to my Solenopsis, to be honest. But like I said, it isn't all bad at the moment. But if you look at the progress of that rat, I think that's pretty cool. Now, it did have a front right paw, which they've completely taken off. Had 3 workers now, problem close to 1,000, sorry. Getting second MS this week. Yeah, MS5, don't get a 3.5, mate. If you've got a 3.5 already for them, you really need to get a 5.5 because they will fill that 3.5 before you can blink. You're better off getting the 5.5 because it's the equivalent of 2 3.5, and do what I've done where I had them in 3.5 originally, then they went into that, and then I went into this. And to tell you the truth, I'm not too far off needing another nest for these anyway. So, like I said, I would definitely go for a 5.5. Oh my god, I'm getting confused now. Yeah, it's 5.5, MS 5.5, because the 3.5 just won't be big enough for their expansion because they grow so quickly. And like I said, you've had them 3 months and already 1,000 workers. That's impressive. But you can proper see how they've gone to town on this. Let me shed some more light on it for you guys. And so, somebody's asked me how it's going. Now, it's not honking yet, but it ain't. I don't think it's going to, by tomorrow morning, I think it's going to be stinking. But you can see where they've excavated holes. It's like they've got the neck area. The face is pretty much gone now. They've got the neck area where they've gone in, and they went in about the midriff on top. You can see a little hole where they're all gathered around, where they've gone in underneath the skin. And what they've actually been doing is taking the meat out and depositing it on the top by the looks of that. Yeah, MS 5.5, MS 5.5 is the way to go though. I've lost my train of thought, and you can't, that bloody, I need to clean that off at some point, but I've got no idea how I'm going to get it off, because just look how they crawl all over the bloody wall. It's going to be an absolute nightmare with these guys. But oh, you can just see the bone. If you look down to where the front right paw would be, you can just see what's left of the leg as they're trying to take that bone off. I wouldn't say a Rakushi fanboy. I do like Rakushi products though. You see that? What I mean about that bone? You can just see them trying to pull it off. And you see the face is practically gone now. They've gone down to the skull on that. I'm hoping, and it looks like they've gone to town on the belly area as well. I can't really point. Now can I point? It's probably going to look too bad. Just there, you can kind of see where they've gone to town on the belly area as well. So they're definitely cutting through it. I could have done a video for this alone, but I thought, nah, I want to see how they got on with a big pinky. And if you look at my Instagram, if you're not already on there, have a look. You'll see how big it was when I first put it in. So it is a big, hefty pile. But they've also, I believe these 3 clumps at the back are actually part of the mouse as well. I think they've been depositing what they've mined there to get processed and taken off. I've seen them do this before with the pinkies when they've completely removed them, and they do take everything of a pinky. But I think this Fluffy is a bit too well developed now, and I think the bones will be a bit too hard for it. But if you look at that bone there, where that major just walked past, it looks like they've kind of hollowed it out already. So I'm not entirely sure. Not entirely sure at all with that one. But yeah, they're doing all right with it, I think. But hopefully they square it away by tomorrow, because otherwise it's going to smell bad, and I don't want that. Let me switch the camera around. Hey, hey, hey. They're constantly at the barrier, and as you can see, we're just watching that video. All they do is that they crawl up it, they drop down, they crawl up it, they drop down. And if you're actually quiet in the room, it sounds like you've got a bowl of Rice Krispies where it goes snack, crackle, and pop when you apply milk, because you can just because you can just see them constantly dropping down, and it's quite funny, to be fair. In the arts that you can constantly hear them getting down. And because my throat's getting dry, I'm just going to get a beverage out of the fridge. El Desperado. So what I've also done from after Antcom, yeah, well, I would go in, Tom, to your question, with mine, when I were about 1,000, I was probably doing about 2 large dubia roaches a week, so probably about on par with what you're giving them. But they do grow really quickly. Hey, Ants Insight, they do grow really quickly, so just be mindful that you're ready for the next stage for them, because they've caught me out a couple of times now. And at the moment with the Solenopsis, I desperately need to get more outworld space for them, because when I first got that S5 large outworld from Akushi, I could alternate the outworld, so I could clean one out, apply the new barrier, and then by distracting them in the other outworld with food and stuff. But now, because they're like bigger in numbers, they just occupy both outworlds, and it's really difficult to apply a barrier without getting stung to pieces. Unfortunately, I do get stung to pieces, and I look rough today. Maybe if I could try some light on my face so I don't look so bad. Is that better? I don't look so dark and horrible. But what I've also did, get my positioning right. What I've also done from Ancon is I got myself some Polyrachus dives, as I said did in my last video on Wednesday. And what I actually did with them was put them in the terrarium, which we can have a look at now if you wish. Swap it around. The terrarium. This camera's rubbish. All the cameras are rubbish. Let me move around. So I've actually had them to the terrarium now. That was their original test tube, and I was really gutted because I checked on them this morning. They're still in a test tube, but now they've moved out of that. But what I can see, if I can move out of the way, what they've done is that the last Connolly set up home in this, I think it's cork tree bark or something like that. And I'm not sure if you can see right in the middle at the top there's a hole, and they actually have gone into there. They've gone into there where the original nest was, so they've occupied the old nest. So if they've occupied it and the old ones are in there, hopefully it's okay in there. But they moved relatively quickly, which was quite a surprise. But I'm looking forward to that. They have not touched that roach at all. It's been in there since yesterday, but I don't think I've properly killed it because it's still twitching. So I've probably not killed it properly. But that is the terrarium. I've not featured this properly really since my Polyrachus dive died. Oh, thanks PJ. And not hashtag should get stung. We're not playing that game today, guys. I'm not actually featured this terrarium. I've kind of let it go a bit wild, but I am going to let it grow up out the top, to be fair, because I think that'll look pretty cool if you could get like your ants crawling up here over the top of it. So I'm going to leave it open topped. I've applied a barrier, which I need to clean this up with. I haven't done yet because it dribbled a little bit. No, Perry, no. So Perry's distracted me again. So yes, that's what the Polyrachus has done. I'm really pleased that they've moved in so quickly, to be fair. All I want them to do now is start gathering some food, because then I know they're on the road to growing. They did have something like, I think it was 3 eggs, I think it was at the time when I got them. So hopefully they should start getting some brood soon. If I see any weaving, you know they've got brood because they need the brood to weave. I've also got a bit of this something that I missed. If you remember from my video that I did on Wednesday, this was the Wakushi Venus nest that you got. Now, I don't like the satin look of it, I won't lie. It's not my flavour. I much prefer the white to it. But what I did miss out was it was a limited edition. You probably can't see it because it's back way around. Limited edition Ancon 2022. I completely missed that. How did I miss that? I don't know. But yeah, so it is a limited edition one. And as it's got the date, if he does the same next year, you're going to get a 2023 one. So that'll be better. I'm sorry I missed that. But I still don't like the 3D printed filament he's used. I much prefer the flat white. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know why I missed that one, but hey ho. Did anybody else with this EA, did you get your red filter on that in your bag? Because I know you can get it with a red filter because I've had it before, but mine didn't come with it. So did you guys have it? Nope, it wasn't just me then. I didn't just lose it. That's a shame. So I know originally you can buy it from the shop with one as well, but oh well. That is a shame. But what do you guys think of my summing up of the total costs of the gold? I didn't think it was that bad at all, to be fair. I think we got over 100 quid's worth of stuff for 65 quid, and that's not including entry. So I don't think it was too bad of a deal. And I won't lie, as I've said before, and I'll say it again, Ancon was absolutely awesome. It was the guys, some of the guys that are in here now, it was such a great time, and they all made it definitely worthwhile. So what do you guys want to see next? I have got 2 more Camponotus arrived today, but I am going to do a video on them probably next week. I've already done a bit of an unboxing. They're both American Camponotus, but that's all I'm going to say for now. Some of you might know what I've already got because I might have discussed it. Well, you do, but you only know of one but you didn't know what the other one was. So shut up, PJ. No, it's fun. I actually enjoy the live streams because I can talk rubbish for a bit, and I've actually got people to interact with me rather than a video where I'm just dictating. And in my videos, let's be honest, I don't script them either, so you're probably going to get the same kind of ramblings that you get from ramblings. You're probably going to get the same ramblings on that I do in my videos, but here I've got the option of interacting by making comments and stuff like that. So, by all means, ask any questions you want. You're more than welcome to. I'm more than happy to answer any questions. If you want to see any particular ants, apart from me getting stung by the Solenopsin, because that's not going to happen intentionally anyway. I thought I'd just seen one running around. So don't even think about that one. No, I said I'm not going to do that. First shout out, Paul. Hey, exotics. I don't know who Paul is. How can I do a shout out to Paul if I don't know who he is? I don't know who Paul is. Oh, you've not missed much. I was just talking about my Solenopsis. I've got a rat in there at the moment, and they're eating that. So I just did, well, I say a rat, it's a baby rat, but it's a big baby rat. But the biggest meal they've ever had, to be honest. I'm not sure if you've been following my Instagram, but it's huge. I'm not sure if they're going to process it before it starts honking the room out. So I may have messed up there without using a colourful metaphor. Oh, is he? I didn't know that Ramblings was called Paul. I did not know. So what have I seen? I tell you what, guys. I'll just show you quickly what my meat ants are doing, because they have grown spectacularly in a week already. Because I think since my last live where I shown them, they've grown a lot. Yeah. Now I've got some of these crickets. Now they're not small crickets, they're fairly big. And bearing in mind this is a foundation meat ant, Connolly. I didn't expect them to process it as quickly as they did, but check it out. That is all that's left of it, and I literally less than 24 hours ago I stuck that in, and when I came in this morning it was pretty much like this. So within about 12 hours they've actually processed that whole cricket down. Now if you remember rightly, last time that I showed you these guys, there was 11 workers. So let's have a look at what we've got now. So this is what I've got now. They are growing really. Locusts and crickets are very different. I don't know what they are. They're crickety kind of stuff. But if you look, I've got a lot more workers, and just look at the amount of brood that I've got as well. They've from 11 workers I think I had, and now I've got probably close to 20. I've not actually counted them. They've got loads and loads of brood, and how's the water looking? Yeah, the water's not looking too great. Ooh, I don't know what I'm going to put these in yet. I haven't decided. I have got a Gen 2 medium nest that I picked up from AntCon. I'm probably not going to put them in the EA's nest. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The water's low. That's what I'm looking at. I need to move them anyway because they're starting to get full in here. Once these hatch, there will be too full for this test tube. So I definitely need to look at moving them ASAP, to be honest. I can't believe in a week they've grown so much. Absolutely crazy. I don't know. I don't think they'll last very long in the EA nest. I don't know, they might do. It might be worth trying the EA nest. I'll have to have a look at what the humidity they require, because the only issue I find with these EA nests is the hydration. If you look, areas are very small, so they don't last very long. You could put medium in there, but the medium is more surface area, so more evaporation, so high humidity, but it won't last as long. But I don't know. I probably won't use it. I ain't got Scoobies yet. I haven't decided. But if we look at them, they're such cool ants. And they've got so much brood. I love the way that with the larvae, if you see to the right, the larvae's got little green bellies because they've got Antantix blugo in it. Didn't take them long at all. How is your paresis, however you say it, How are yours getting on? Because mine have absolutely exploded. This e-aim and that, no, because it's a 3D printed one, it's not as acrylic one. Yeah, I don't know. I might try it out. I might give them a whirl in and see how they get on. Looks like there's some bits of the Cricut left. But I can't believe how quickly these are going for such a large ant as well. And it looks like I've got brood at all different stages there as well, so the queen's still blatantly laying. These things are going to explode. I've got a sneaky suspicion. I'm going to blink and overnight they're going to be taking over my ant room. Yeah, they are. They're meat ants. Oh God. I have to practice Latin names before I actually say them, because otherwise I struggle a lot. Now that is the outworld that my Paresis are in, so you can just have a comparisons and have a look at the nest. Sorry for the quality, guys. It's the camera on this iPad. It's pants. And there's a load in there as well. So they're doing really well. I've got a couple of hundred Paresis. Considering I've had them for about 3 years, they have not done too well until recently, where they've just exploded in number. Sorry for that light. So they've actually exploded in number. Fedchinkoi. Tom, mate, I'm never going to get it right. I'm never going to get this Latin game right. I can barely say English, never mind all this Latin stuff. That ain't going to work for me. But what will come is Camponotus Feds. Oh, was you? I didn't know. Why don't you say hi, Exotics, and introduce yourself? Because that would have been cool. I did. I don't know about everybody else, like out the YouTubers on that are probably watching this now, but even though it was really cool, having all the people come up to me and say hi, Hans Hood and stuff like that, I was completely not used to it, and I felt a bit uncomfortable, to be fair. Not because it was like wrong for you to do that. I was really pleased you came up and said hi, but I'm just not used to that kind of attention, and I found it a bit weird, to be fair. It was good, but I found it a bit weird. I mean, did anybody else think that as well? Because kind of freaked me out a little bit. Probably didn't help that I was also hungover as well. Or actually, I was still drunk when I turned up, to be fair. I watched the live stream again the other day, and I was definitely drunk. I said hi to you, PJ. Don't know what you're talking about. Oh, check this out as well. Let me watch these for a second while I get... These are my Camponotus nicobrensis. I gave them a Mario worm, which they destroyed, and a locust, cockroach, jumper, whatever you want to call it, and they knighted it as well. But what I must say is my fungus in my leaf cutters is doing really well as well. Let me just drag this to the front. It's probably getting ready to fall over again because... Hi, Ants England. It's probably... wrong way. Oh, that was horrible. My fungus is doing really well again. What I've noticed about this is it generally gets to this size, and then they dismantle it and put a load of it in the outworld. They like the maple leaves, but they definitely prefer elder leaves, to be fair. And what you notice here as well, they picked off the cap for the heat cable in this prototype, and then when I tried to get it out, it fell in that hole which used to have the tube in it, and I can't get it out. So now I'm using cotton wool, but as you can clearly see, they've been chewing at it away and taking it away. So that's going to be that's a future hood problem, and it's not a hood problem now. But if you look, the fungus is actually doing great, to be fair. I shouldn't really do this too much, but just for you guys, we'll have to take a look off. And as you can see, the numbers are absolutely fantastic. I do love these. They're so interesting. So cool. You can't find any elder. Do you know what your best way to look for it, mate, is, do you know when you go to parks and stuff like that, in the little bushes, I find a lot of it growing there in between the bushes. But I haven't done a video on these for a while either. I have not done a video for you. I need to do an update on the leaf cutters because I do find them really interesting. I do think they're really cool as well. Let's just push them back because I don't want to bother them too much. Yeah, he's here. Hey, he's here. No, not PJ. Hey. So all in all, they're doing great. I'll tell you what I did pick up as well. I've not had these for a long while, but when I forgot to order my cockroaches. So I had to go to, what's it called? Pets at Home. And for the first time I've seen them with fruit flies. So I've got a load of these and I've been feeding them to my Conleys a little bit. I also picked up some Mario worms, and I got some jumpers, roaches, cockroaches, crickets, whatever you want to call them. And that got them for all £6.50, so that wasn't too bad for a stopgap. And it also varies my food a little bit. I've been feeding the ants, which is variety is the spice of life, as they say. So yeah, that's a pretty good deal. But when I came home from Pets at Home, I also realised that my cockroaches arrived. So now got about 200 cockroaches. I've got a load of Mario worms, which I don't generally use a lot of, to be fair. And I've got crickets and fruit flies. So I've got plenty of food. You want me to show you my guns? Well, it's not really a gun. I'll do it quickly, but it's not really a gun thing, this myself. Okay, so that is the top one is the King Arms Blackwater. It was a license from the company, a private company called Blackwater. But obviously we all know that they went around killing a load of civvies in Iraq and got disbanded. This is one that I built myself. From parts I imported from China and stuff like that. So it's a custom build. Yeah, so that's them. I did used to have a lot more, like every other airsofter out there. I had an addiction for guns, but I've sold most of mine off now. But back to ants. I don't know what I'm going to put in my Saturn nest yet. No, I'm not, because I just embarrassed myself. Elijah. I give up. I have got these Saturn nests. They are airsoft, by the way, guys. I'm not going to go around shooting people. They fire little 6mm BBs. They're not got bad range, to be fair. I think the one's about 30 to 40, one's about 50 meters. Hey, Callum. Back to the Saturn. I've got a large Saturn nest and I've got no idea what to put in it yet because I haven't got anything quite big enough to put in there. I did have my Formica Fuscas in there, but if you remember from my video a little while ago, the Formica Fuscas weren't getting on in there. So we all know Formicas are pains in the bums, that they are very finicky anyway. And maybe I'm thinking the Conleys only got about 15 to 20 workers. It might not have been really big enough to be comfortable enough in exposed to light. So guns or Geminata are going to do more damage. In fact, I should combine an airsoft rifle with Geminata, because then nobody's going to fake their hits with that one. No one's going to shrug it off because it's going to hurt like hell. We'll call it the Geminata gun. So my Formicas didn't do too well in that, but I don't know what I'm going to use yet. But I tell you what I did do as well. I'm not sure if you remember from my live that I did from AntCon on the Friday night. I did, by the way, I'd like to point out, I did get Richard's permission to do the live stream. So you guys can get like a bit of a pre-look of what was going on. But if you remember what I said, Rich, Antantics had some cubed outworlds where he had the substrate in the back with the back of the glass, and I did talk about I wanted them. Well, I've been talking to Rich today, and he's going to send me 2, which is really cool. So I want one for my Mesa Arenaris, because they're not too bad at the moment. In fact, I'll get them out now because I'm talking about them. You was in one of my live streams, you're right. My Mesa Arenaris, they need a decent sized outworld now because it's too small, and it's just and putting all the seeds in it and stuff like that, and having the rubbish in there is just not very healthy. So I'm looking at expanding it. So I'm not sure if you remember it. I can't remember what he had in it. I think he had his Formica in there. They're on the bottom shelf on the right. There were these cubes, and he didn't have a lid on it. Had a barrier around the top of it. But I'm getting 2 of them to test for. There's my there's a poly. I've just seen a poly running around the terrarium. That's cool. So I'm getting 2 of them so I can test them out and give you a verdict if I think they're retail or not. Because believe it or not, he's actually got £1,000 worth of these like Nest stroke Outworlds, and he's never sold them because they came with lids, but the lids warped and he wasn't happy. So rather than selling them anyway, he was like, "No, I'm not going to do that." So he's kept them. So when I seen them there, I was like, "Mate, I want one," and now I've got 2 coming. So I am going to get 2. I will do a video on it at some point and give you my thoughts and stuff like that. So if it's worth it or not, but hopefully if he gets, oh, there was a comment to me there, I missed it. Damn it, get the comments up. How'd you get the comments up? Ah, there we go. Oh, sugar. So once so you've seen that, and I'll get it and I'll do a bit of review on it and say if I think it's worth it. Personally, I think just having a decent barrier around the top of it and keeping on top of that, and it should be fine. But they will be really cool. So yeah, but let me just check out the R&Rs because that's what I'm going to put in it. See, this is what I mean about my R&Rs. Now, I absolutely loved Rich's setup for it as well. But this is them. Now, there is, like, I did change that test tube last night when I was talking to some chaps. But yeah, there is still space for them to, if they choose to. Is the Queen all right? Yeah, she's moving. There is plenty of space in his Venus nest still, but the Outworld's not so good. This is the right is where all the trash is, and I did clean it out last night, but obviously it builds up relatively quickly because they are quite hungry on seeds and stuff like that. And then they've got another seed store here. And what's going on there? Is that doing some underground laying on the back, cleaning the underside of another ant job going on? It looks that way. Or is it attacking it? I've got no idea what's going on here. It looks like it's attacking it. But it's still alive because I've seen it moving. Bearing in mind, R&Rs don't do anything overly quickly. They're the most chilled out messes I've ever come across in my life. I've got no idea what's going on here. Should we? Let's have a look. I don't know. It's still alive because I can see it's moving. But I don't know what it's doing to it. Oh no. Was it just cleaning it? I think it was just cleaning it, to be honest. I'll get your head in there. I think it was just cleaning it. I'm not sure. But yeah, so I want to put these guys in that setup because I think it would be really cool. Yeah, is that an old Ant Holifer? So I need a new setup for these guys. So that's what I'm going to use, that setup from Antcon that Rich is going to kindly give to me. Hey, I didn't see what the name was there, but hi. So yeah, I'm going to use that setup for these guys, and I'm also going to use it for my Formicas because the substrate in it's a bit like what you put yeah, R&Rs that was, yeah. I'm going to put flowers in. You know, there's like foamy stuff, you put flowers into it. Well, that's what he's used at the back of the nest for a substrate for them to dig in. Now, that'd be really good for like Formicas because then they'll get absorbed into it. Oh wow, you're going to do that? That's awesome. To say the truth, I'm getting sidetracked again by a comment. Oxospinosis is probably a better one to get than Attas because I know a lot of people like the Attas because they're fast growing and they've got super majors and stuff like that. But if you can't control their numbers, they will take over your house. Where Ospinosis generally stay to controllable numbers. So I would recommend if you're going to get leaf cuts to get them. But I know everyone loves Attas. But they do grow into their millions and they're not small ants and their food requirements will be very difficult to maintain in winter because they literally eat a lot. I'm sure Ant Holifer will tell you if he jumps on at all or if you talk to him at some point, he will tell you that they eat a lot. And that's why his has grown so much. He's actually exploded, to be honest. They've done really, really well. But yes, so let me just put these back. Is anything else you guys want to see, by the way? Because I've got loads of ants. I've not actually checked my bobbleheads, the Tylaninus, those bobblehead ones I got from Antcon. I've not checked on them since I put them into their Outworld, so I might have a sneak peek at them and see how they're getting on. I'm not even going to pronounce that. Not Lustings. I did put some fruit flies in here yesterday. It doesn't look like they've got them. Now, I don't even know what these are called. I'm not even going to attempt the name without practicing it first. But these girls are just fantastic. I just love, I mean, like, let me get a pointy thing. I just love the major there. Just look at the size of the bulbous head compared to the body. The torso so small. There might have been, to be fair, matey. There might have been. Just look at that. I ended up getting them. Look at it. It's just so big. And I should. Just want to get... I pity I can't get my macro lens on this. Believe it or not, as I stated in my video, like my last video I did, these were only discovered in 1995. So they're relatively a new species to science, and there's very, very little to near to nothing on these at all, to be fair. I don't know how to pronounce it either. They are a Thailanders. It's a ENSIS, it's pronounced at the end of it. I'm not sure how you pronounce it because I tried it and failed. Yeah, but they only got found in 1995, which is really cool. Now, they don't grow in big numbers. They literally grow to about 200 to 300 in size. So they're not super big commonly. And they, as you can see here, they're really chilled out. I just don't think I'm going to show them much on my channel other than when I do live and I do a bit of a sneak peek of how they're getting on. Because there's not a lot to report. I mean, can you imagine just me doing one of my videos for like 10 to 15 minutes and all you see is this? I'm going to run out of stuff to say. Yeah, you can take credit for it, mate. You did pass them to me, and I got all excited because I really wanted them. But yeah, they are super shy as well. They're really nervous. They've clearly been doing some activity out here because they've got bits of food that they've moved outside, and looks like they've attacked a fruit fly down there as well in the middle of your screen. Now they've attacked a fruit fly, so they do come out. I've just not seen them outside the test tube yet. So yeah, they really need to. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And if you think about it from a content creator point of view, they're not very active at all. So they're cool to look at and they're cool to keep. But I think this is going to be one of those like private ant colonies that I keep. I'll show on a live stream, but I just don't see me doing anything other than an initial introduction stroke care video to them, because otherwise I'm going to run out of things to say about them. Because yes, they've just stayed in the test tube again. Oh, there, more activity. One move to the right of the test tube. There's not a lot I can really say. The leaf cutters are really active. Yeah, very, very shy. I did get my Camponotus feds, as you guys well know, but I'm not going to get them out because she's in the foundation stage with her eggs, and there's not likely to, there weren't any pupae yet. So with Camponotus, they're so skittish to start with, you're just better off leaving them alone and let them get the first workers. Sorry, I just had a drink. I do need to clean this Outworld out. I did actually clean it out yesterday, but when they got hold of that cricket locust or whatever, you can see they've demolished it, moved it all over the place. But this was cleaned yesterday, I swearsies. Yeah, that is. But I've got an Outworld there, and I've got an Outworld up there as well. So they've got 3 Outworlds. And Pav, that's the your nest that you gave me. As you can see, there are plenty of workers in there. They've got a couple that have used as trash, but they're fine in there. They don't put the brood in there though, but I don't hydrate it. What did I pick as a mystery species? I picked the feds, mate. Yeah, they used it as trash, but yeah, they're using it quite happily. Oh, do you want to have a look at my Carabera? All right, I'll get my Carabera out. They also absolutely annihilated a cockroach last night as well. Not a cockroach, a jumper, hopper, locust, stroke, whatever the hell it is. In fact, there's nothing left of it. They've absolutely annihilated it. So that's the Outworld. I didn't clean all of that dead pile up the other day, so I'm not too concerned about that. But very rarely do you see anything other than miners out at this stage. But let me take this off. Let me move the light a little bit, so it's not. There we go. It's probably best. As you can see, there. Oh, there's a bit of the roach, the cockroach. There's the queen. No super majors yet, but I've got majors, and they're big by themselves. Look, there's a major's head there. But these are getting big by themselves. To be fair, they're absolutely the amount of brood. Oh, she's absolutely huge, mate. She's an absolute ginormous queen, but she's really cool though. I love this species. I can't wait for this species to grow big, because they do grow very big very quickly. Now, they don't necessarily have loads and loads of majors and stuff like that running around the outworlds and stuff, but the miners do all the work, and these are very busy. I know she's huge. I don't think you realise how big she is, but when you look at the production of eggs she can produce, you kind of know why she's big. She has to be big just to keep up with it. And bearing in mind, the miner workers don't live very long either. I'm starting to think they only last like about a week or two, a month or two, because they die relatively quickly. And I can't really see. I'm not sure if you can see that there. Here comes one of the. Wow, it's huge. What is that? Is that a super? Oh no, it's just his abdomen. No, that's a super. Right, I think I've got a super major here, guys. His head's about the same size as the queen's head. Her head, should I say. Oh my word, look at the size of her. That is big. Look at the size of the mandibles. Mandivores. Oh, look. She's big. That is awesome. I am happy as punch. Yeah, Pav. Yeah, they moved into it pretty much since I got it, like, and I'm keeping it because I need the extra space. So they're staying in there. Yeah, I think you need to, because there's no hydration in there, you need a sustained colony in there so they can maintain their own high humidity. But I'm just awestruck at the moment by this super. Just look how big the head is. So cool. So as you can see, the Caraberas are doing actually fine. I probably need to do a video on these soon, just as a catch up. I know you guys are watching them now, but just as a catch up, so let everyone know how they're getting on, because they're yeah, they're doing all right. Yeah, I will do, and I'll probably get better quality than you get from this crummy iPad. But have they eaten all that already, or do I need to give them another one? Should we feed them? It might not react overly enthusiastic to it because I only fed them yesterday. I'm not going to do one on all my colonies yet. My feds I've introduced. I'm going to do an introduction to the two new colonies I've got, because that was in a collab with not High Tech Ants, sorry, HQ Ants HQ. So I'm going to do a video on them, and I will. So you will see them again for sure. You'll see them, sorry, for sure. And then once they haven't got any workers yet, but once they do, then I'll look at doing a proper video on them. But what do you want to do? Do you want to see a Mario worm, or should we put a cricket in there again. You choose, guys. Yeah, to tell you the truth, I don't really talk to him a great deal, but he's actually a straight up guy, mate. He sounds like he's a real decent chap. Cricket it is. He's a real decent chap, to be fair. So I'm actually looking forward to working with him on this. I won't lie, and I will make this perfectly clear in my videos as well. He did give me those 2 Conleys that you'll see soon, so it's no loss to me, as it were. But it was really nice of him to do that. He was only supposed to give me 1, but he ended up giving me 2 different species, which is great. I know the Super Major was really cool. Cricket. Right, where's my scissors? Oh, shit. I did cut through its head in half. No, stop kicking around. There we go. And it flicked one of them out. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. It flicked one of them out. Go put her in. There you go. No, she's not. Get off. See, they're really quick to recruit workers as well, which, yeah, it probably is a locust. It just calls them hoppers from what's that place called? Pets at Home. But they're not something I normally get. It's literally something that I picked up because my cockroaches hadn't arrived until I got home and they were there waiting for me. So I kind of wasted a bit of money there, but never mind. Oh, they flicked another one out. Let's put this back on. But they're really quick to recruit workers. Once you stop flailing around, you'll see that you do actually start seeing some more of the media workers coming out. The medias don't come out that very often, but they do. And when they do come out eventually once they're needed. And you will see them come out for this because I think they did most of the cutting up to the big one anyway. The lid's shut, mate. I know. But I tell you what, these Outworlds, literally, these are cheap as chips. This cost me, including postage, from China, AliExpress, about 5-6 quid. And they're good enough to keep these little ants in. So they're really good. They are really good. And if you're on a budget, you want something like that. In fact, there's a media worker there. Now, that's obviously not a major, it's a media worker. They don't come out very often. My favourite species in my collection. Ooh. What is my favourite species in my collection? I don't know. Yeah. I love my Solenopsis, but I love my leaf cutters. And I love my Nicobrensis, but I love these Caraberas. So I don't know. It generally the rule of thumb for me is if I'm filming it, it's my favourite ant. And then when I film another ant, that becomes my favourite ant because it's just a lot easier. Because when you watch them like this, when you're filming and stuff, you kind of pick up on their personalities and things, and you'll see what they're like. But what is good about the cockroaches is they take all, not cockroaches, the crickets, they take all of it away. Where the cockroaches, they leave the exoskeleton, and they also like to clog up all of these feeders around here up as well. I am drinking Desperado. Next question, what dream species would you want to keep? Oh, good question. The answer to that question always used to be, I've got some American species. I'm going to introduce them soon, Florida. Literally next week, if you stick around Ants Florida, you'll see that I've got 2 American species of Camponotus. I must admit, my dream species now is probably going to be an American species, which is the honeypots. I really want to get off the bloody cotton wool. Off. you know. So yeah, so the answer to Exotic's question there is definitely definitely honeypots. Yeah, well, I've not actually had pogos, but I wouldn't mind getting some because I was watching a video on them the other day, and the pogos are really interesting, really cool. So and they look really cool. Sorry, so I wouldn't mind getting some pogos. I mean, I didn't initially like harvester ants because I thought they're a bit like, well, I want to see them dismantling like prey, like these guys are here. I did have honeypots once before, Nathan, and I messed it up big time. And I will look at getting them again in the future, just not yet. I want to make sure I've got a decent setup for them. It's proven. I know that Tar Hill do a honeypot setup. Excuse me, people. But trying to get a Tar Hill set up in the UK is extremely expensive, so I've not bothered with that yet. I know that Ant Boy UK has got a honeypot setup as well, but yet again, I don't know anybody that's used it yet to see if it's any good. Yeah, and they're notoriously hard to keep as well, honeypots, as I can't say Sid Squid. Sorry, mate, I didn't get your name. They honeypots are notoriously hard to keep. They really are, and that's kind of off-putting as well, because they're so expensive too. If you get honeypots, you're looking about anywhere between 120, 150 pounds. And then just like I did last time when I bought them, and I told nobody to tell my wife how much they cost, and somebody did, and then they died. It's a big loss. It is a big loss. But equally, I've got meat ants before, and I spent like nearly £100 on Nat Queen, and she died. But I managed to pick it up again from a different supplier this time. I know he's got them, but they're like 135 quid, including postage. He does supply, Ants Davey does supply them as well, but I don't think he's got any in stock off the top of my head. I've not looked at his stock list today, to be fair. Yeah, they do. If you watch my video, I think it was my 100 sub boxing special. That's how long ago it was now. 350 quid for 3 queens. Is that Ants HQ for honeypots? Wow. That's probably why I'm not going to get them, because last time I did it, I killed them, and I don't want to spend that kind of money and kill them again. You see what I mean about how quickly they recruit workers to this as well? And when they've actually got some cutting up to do, then you get the media's coming out to play. And have a look at the nest now. You see how much empty it is of the minor workers because they've all gone out to play with the grasshopper. Oh, they're just so cool. It's such brilliant ants. 100 Solenopsis because I know what to expect. No, quite. I didn't quite. It popped up quick enough. What was that comment? Sorry about that, guys. My mistake. How's the rope with the acros? The rope's fine. It does exactly what I expected it to do. The only issue is they keep getting past the barrier on their outworld, and they're being really stubborn. So I probably need to get a new barrier for it. Blank screen, yeah. Hey, antimatter. If we distract from there, you can't really see because I'm intertwining everything. But yeah, but with the rope, they do fall off it a lot. So you need to make sure you stay with it. Now, I know this is normal for leaf cutters. They fall off the ropes all the time. So what I'm doing is just not keeping it connected 24/7. I only connect the rope up when I'm there to watch them, one, to enjoy it, and two, to keep an eye off. If they fall off, I can just pop them into the outworld and it's no dramas. How's your brag hood? Yes, it did have my first Super Majors. I think you missed it, Antimatter. It's only one. It's only one, by the way. I'll tell you what. While you're here watching, I'll let you have a quick sneak peek, see if we can see her again. Where is she? Last time I think there she is. Where's my pointy? Get my pointy out. I think she's underneath there or around here. You'll have to watch back, because what she did, she came out here and poked her head round here, and her head was almost as big as the Queen's. It was absolutely huge. Black screen still should be live. Oh, what the deuce. I don't know how to change this. Woo. Is it back? Because I went out of the app trying to get the comments up. I think you got the comments are just catching up now. Is it still black? I guess the comments are a bit quite behind me. I'm assuming it's no longer black. Black, still black. Yep. Oh, crumbs. I've got no idea how to refresh. Give me a second. No. Black screen. I don't know how the hell to get out of this. Oh no, I'm sorry guys. Restart the stream. Okay, I'll restart the stream, guys. Bear with me.